everybody in the morning come downstairs and you don't know who you're gonna run into at 6 in the morning, so you just better be ready to fight. So when you brush your teeth, a lot of punk ass beef that's in the joint, I was just running to them left and right. So it's like getting sent to the box, getting smoked in the box, then you know what I mean? I'm doing mad shit, spitting on the COs and all that. So they just like, yeah, you getting the fuck out of here.
Ain't got a moment when they see you down, just know they love it.
Yeah, man.
Everybody, welcome to the Bounce Back Podcast. I'm your host, B. Luke. I got a special guest with me today. So why don't you tell the people your name, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself, bro?
Yeah, man. Day, a lot of niggas know me by Crash from Boston, to be exact, East Boston, Maverick Projects.
So why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself? How long you been out of jail, prison, and what you got going on with yourself these days, bro?
Yeah, I've been out of jail from a big bid nigga over a year now. Mm-hmm. But I just got out of jail just last motherfucking but I just say Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, on some holding shit.
Okay.
Yeah, just dumb shit, bailed out.
Well, I mean, we're not gonna talking about anything that's open or anything like that. So East Boston, right? That's where you say you're from?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about like what East Boston was like growing up for you. I mean, how old are you? You seem to be a little younger than me. So like talk about your era, what it was like growing up in Eastie, and then comparing it to like tell the people about Boston in general from your experience that might not know. We on YouTube, we have people all over.
I got family from Dorchester and all that, so I grew up on the Dorchester life and shit with my cousins and them, you know. But I'm East Boston nigga. I grew up with, you know, where everybody think it's sweet at, but it really ain't too much of that shit, you know what I mean? But I grew up with the Spanish people out there, being the only black person in the classroom, shit like that.
Okay.
And but shit, I had a time out there. I always had fun. I was in the community centers heavily, you know what I'm saying? Like I was an active kid.
So talk a little bit about like East Boston in general, right? I know I hear about like Maverick and Orient Heights, right? Is that how the city's broken up into? Are you pretty much on one side or the other? Or I guess break down East Boston in itself.
Small, but like where that part is that's like closer to like Revere.
Okay.
But yeah, Maverick though, that's the main projects out there. You know, those are projects too, but they ain't talked about.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna say it ain't talked about.
Okay, got you. So talk a little bit about like growing up in East Boston. Where do you go to school? Did you end up going to East Boston? Got its own high school? I guess break that down.
Yeah, they got only one high school out there, East Boston High. I ain't last long.
Okay.
And I went to the middle school, the Umona. Yeah, I had fun there.
Okay.
It was like middle school. Everybody from around my way, we all went there. Like everybody went there.
That's
every
what's
generation.
That's what's up. It's always good to have people you know, like in school too. I like a lot of my little league
friends in the
partners.
class with you and shit.
Absolutely.
All that.
So talk a little bit about like growing up too. Like, were you into sports? What kind of things were you doing as a young kid, a young man? Did you get into sports at all?
Shit, in a way, I was doing it because my friends was doing it. They was over there playing. They was more into it, but I was playing Pop Warner and BNBL. I was, you know, just so I can, but that wasn't really my thing though. But I'm athletic as shit though.
Okay.
But I ain't never took that serious.
Hey, sometimes it's in the genes.
Go over there, baby. Go over there, please.
Got the little one with you, man. So talk about that, the fatherhood journey, man. How long? I mean, you obviously don't look too old. How long you been a father, and like, what's that been like for you so far, bro?
Nah, it's crazy. Like I said, now we can get into the real shit. Like when I last seen her, before I went and did a whole bed, nigga, she was like, you know, in my arm 5 months. You know what I mean? And I went to jail for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Was in there for a while. And it's like when you just come home and you see a kid and they just walk in and all that, you miss the stages, you know, all of that shit. I was there just for a little piece of it. And I barely was even hearing it on the phone because I wasn't making phone calls like that. So I ain't want to stress myself out because I know I was going to miss out on some shit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But even now that I'm home, like, I be going through it, but I be trying I be trying to have her as much as I can.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, she adore me. That's all that really matters.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. So talk a little bit about why it's important for you to be in your daughter's life. Is that something like growing up? Did you have your father in your life?
I have my father in my life right now. I live with my dad, so
That's
I look
what's
at
up.
it. That nigga, he always was there. You heard, real man. Always, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right. It's no matter. That's what you're supposed to do, regardless. But you know, it's still a return in the favor. Like I had my father in my life. She deserved one too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Was that something that, like, you feel is like a good thing that you have like references to go off of, like seeing how your dad was in your life and maybe like the kind of game that he told you that you could pass that down? Obviously, she's still young now, but I mean, just having a reference point is good.
He was always in the household, but I look at it, certain things he didn't do with me, I could do with her.
Right.
Because one thing I can say, I don't know, the people that have kids, they make you feel like a kid again. Who knows? She's out there watching SpongeBob.
Absolutely.
That was my favorite show. She's watching, I'll be like, oh, I seen this before.
Absolutely.
It's like one of those moments.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about how you did as a student in school, academically? How did you take to the work? And what was that like? Were you straight A's? How were your grades? And what do you attribute that to?
I was a C student in the middle, as in like, I always knew how to do the work, but I just didn't do the work.
Right.
If you could relate to that, you could relate to that. Because I was always a bad hothead. ADHD was kicking in the classroom.
So females like to use this phrase a lot too. Is you was pretty much doing the bare minimum, right? Just to kind of get by. Is that what it was?
I had some of the shorties doing my work for me, so it's like.
So you was able
they knew it was the bare minimum, and it was offering it.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Just getting in where you fit in.
I said, not because I didn't do the work. Like I was always, but people label me the class clown. I'm just naturally funny, so shit. Motherfuckers used to just laugh. Teachers kicking me out, put my desk in the hallway just because I said something and everybody won't laugh. But I'm that serious.
Right.
People, I go through that now. I can say something right now, and motherfucker just start giggling. I'd be like, the fuck, what's the
Right. What do you think that was? Do you think that's just naturally your personality, or were you looking for validation maybe from your peers?
No, I was just being myself.
That's it. Just being funny.
If people want to call it that.
That's how people took it?
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, I could say something seriously, but it would come out in a funny-ass voice, or funny tone, or something like that.
So what about siblings in the house? You were only child? Did you have brothers and sisters growing up?
Yeah, we all lived together. Yep, not no more, but yeah, I got 2 older brothers, and I got a little sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the ages? Like you guys all pretty close in age. What's the furthest age from the oldest to the youngest?
Shit, them 18 minus 30 something.
Whatever that is, damn.
Whatever that is.
I was told there would be no math, right?
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't even trying to do that.
All different ages though.
Like my oldest brother with me, and I'm the youngest out of the boys. Like he got 9 on me, so.
Okay.
And I got 7 on my sister, so. What's that?
Gotcha.
So they got 16 years apart.
Got you.
Yep. So that's the act. Yep.
Were you getting into trouble at school as far as like getting suspended, detention, or did you manage to stay out of trouble?
Yeah,
I know you said you were in the hallway, but
I got expelled from 3 high schools out here.
Okay.
I ain't never left the 9th grade, no bullshit.
For real? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk.
I regret that though.
Hey, I mean, can't go backwards. All we could, we can't make
I can explain why I regret it though.
So talk about that. Why do you regret it?
Like, when I got expelled from all different high schools, I went to East E High. I did some wild shit there where I ended up on motherfucking Boston Harrow at that time.
Damn.
At like 15, 16. And then I went to the South Boston school. Then I went to Brighton High. I kicked out all of them shits, really. But, and I kept going back. But I don't know. What made me really regret this shit, when I seen everybody from like I was in school with from kindergarten, I was at their graduation because a couple people from my way was graduating that same year, so I'm there. So I'm just, it just hit me like I'm supposed to be doing this too.
Yeah.
Everybody's with their family, they got plans to do this and that after the graduations.
It's crazy.
So, what the fuck?
You know what I always find crazy too is because people don't really drop out till they get like to high school, but then it's like, to me at that point, it's like, you went to school all these years, you only got 1 year left,
Yeah.
2 years left, that's all.
I know a lot of people like that. Like,
Yeah, man.
if I would have went to 11th grade, I would have finished, like, you know, because it's like you got just 1 more year left. I know people that dropped out in the 12th grade. I'd be like, that's dumb as shit. Like, what the fuck was you going through?
Damn. So, talk to me a little bit about, like, when does the trouble with the law start? I know you had said the Boston Herald thing in high school, but when you first start getting arrested, when you first start getting in trouble in the law?
I never did DYS time, because I did wild shit during that time. Luckily, God, by the grace of God, I ain't never been caught. But yeah, the first time I've been put in handcuffs was at 13, and then just back and forth. I was just getting bagged for little dumb shit, little $40 to $100 bills. You know, I'm getting out. But when it really started getting real though, when I turned, shit, it really started when my friend died.
Damn.
I got booked for some shit the same day he died, so I was 21.
Wow.
And then from there on up.
Damn.
So yeah, 21.
What do you think? What you think you were just kind of acting up out of that happening, or was it? I mean,
no, it wasn't even an acting up matter. It was just like.
Was one thing?
He died, so it's like, yeah, obviously it was like a best friend of mine, so I wanted to act the fuck up, and there was some shit that was, you know what I mean, where I was probably with her, but nigga, I don't know, the police just came, I got booked for some shit that I ended up beating, though. I could talk about it now. You know, they bagged me for 5 straps with a couple other niggas and shit.
Damn.
I washed that out, you know. But then I ended up, as I was fighting that case, I ended up catching another strap charge.
Damn.
So I'm in jail fighting 2 gun charges at the same time.
Damn.
By the grace of God, I beat one and only ended up doing the time that I did.
So you had said you'd got arrested, you had handcuffs put on you as a juvenile, right? But you didn't do DYS time. Did you end up getting any probation or anything like that? You remember?
I had a probation
juvenile?
before when I got kicked out of my, my school. What I did there.
Okay.
Because the teacher ain't testify on me.
Okay.
I did some shit with the teacher.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
What so being a juvenile and then if you get this probation, you completed probation as a juvenile, or did you not get probation?
Nah,
what ends up happening with those cases?
It was just little dumb shit, like I was getting booked for little silly shit, like throwing rocks out of cars, something.
Yeah. Okay.
And I got pointed out, but I only would have like $100 bail, so it's like
Okay.
My mom's with my dad, they come to get me. But it's like I'll go to court, but it would just be like little shit that'll be wiped away. I'll probably have to show up to court like probably 2-3 times.
Yeah, you can see whatever.
Dumb shit, but it was just happening many times. But I was never catching cases on top of cases to the point where, I'm violating any type of probation if I had it. I never did that. No bullshit. I never even missed a court day. I don't even play that shit. I
hear you.
I don't walk around with warrants.
I hear you, man. I actually I got screwed once. They said my parents was waived, right? So I go, and then the next thing I know, my lawyer's calling me. I'm like, yo, y'all said it was just a whole mess, man. That's why I'll never trust them motherfuckers again. But so talk about like the events that lead up to that first time of you sitting where in Nashua Street. You're fighting how many? Like you got open cases. What's going on in your life at that point?
The first gun charge?
The first time you were sitting in jail, like what happened?
Yeah, with the first one, I said that shit was light. I was in jail. They had us, me and a couple of my dudes. They had us in there for like 3 days, but we all built out. We built the fuck out, and then, we took that shit in trial. We spanked it. By the grace of God, you know what I mean? No fingerprints, no probable cause for the police.
Okay.
Shit like that. But like I said, during that time, cause we was all like I said, we built out, we all on house arrest and shit. But I ended up catching another gun charge for whatever reason that happened, some dumb shit, you know what I mean? That ain't nothing to even talk about. It's just disappointing. But yeah, it was just, now I'm sitting in there.
That's what I was gonna ask. That's what I was gonna ask.
You can't go nowhere.
You went to trial from the inside, right?
I went to trial from the inside. So, and when I did that, it was funny too, cause my friends and them, they not in jail. They out. So they coming to court with me. We able to sit together too on that trial. I'm already like 10, 11 months in jail, so I don't give a fuck what they give me at that time. But
it's a district case, right?
I'm over there feeling bad for them. Like, damn, they gonna have to go through the process of, getting comfortably, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
like
To the
if
point, you know
if
how
y'all got
people-
sentenced, they would, you would have had a year in there, but they would have been just
Yeah,
getting in
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
so,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
luckily
I'd
things
have,
worked
like,
out the other way.
Yeah, no bullshit. Like, cause my shit would already probably ran concurrent, so I probably would have got out before them. It's just like they need to be in there though.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
It was just cause still to this day I be laughing with one of them. I be like, we be dying laughing. That should be funny cause we just spanked some shit and we just beat that charge and all that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And
It's so.
and then, so we could talk about it.
So it's easy, yeah, to talk about it and laugh about it now, but at the time, right, you're sitting there,
We
you're
still
locked
laughing
up.
about it though. We was going to call. We was cellies and shit laughing about it, like, damn, bro, we about to fuck these niggas up in here. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Literally.
So that's what I was gonna ask.
'Cause
What was your
like-
confidence? Like, what's the lawyer telling you? Like, is this something that you knew you were gonna beat? Were you very confident
I was
going
very
into trial?
confident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I was always told by a lot of people that went through shit like that, you take everything to trial.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay. So what's the next move? You beat this case. What happens? You still have anything else open,
it was funny,
or
when
is
I beat
everything
the
done?
case, I'm still in jail. I had to go back to where I was locked up at Middleton and shit. You know what I mean? Because I got transferred out of this county. I'll get to that. But yeah, I had to go back to Middleton, but because you know when you're on trial and you're in jail, you're like this, no handcuffs, no shackles, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So my friends, they got up and left. You know when they said, you know, case dismissed. I thought I could get up and leave too. The CEO's like, no, not you. You still got to do time.
Damn.
Because I told you I'm in jail for a whole nother charge
Yeah.
that I ended up just pleading out to. You know what I mean? It was just like I had no choice but to. Like I feel like when your ID's involved with some shit like that, you just got to just say, yeah, it was me.
So you pled out.
Yeah.
You pled out. This was
My second gun charge.
Okay,
This is shit
what
when
county?
It was just me by me. It was in Boston.
You went to the
I
Bay
got
for your
booked in
bid.
Boston, but like I said, I was fighting this shit, and they just shipped me out to Middleton from out in South Bay.
You had to do your time in Middleton. I mean, talk about that.
I
What was
wrapped
that
up
like?
there. I really wrapped up from the farm out there though.
How was that? How was that experience?
I ain't never thought they had some shit like that. The way I'm dressed right now, you can be dressed like this.
You got your street clothes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You got the little contact visit. You can get a little kissing, all of that.
So how long after you get the sentence until you hit the farm? I mean, you gotta sit
When I got sentenced from the second one, from the first one.
in Middleton, yeah.
When I beat the first one, I say like about 2 months. I was like, fuck it.
And you was able to hit the farm?
Yeah, because I was about to go on trial for that, but I'm like, I knew it was like some red-handed shit. Once the lawyer was like, you know, if you lose this in trial, you might have to do 3.5, whatever. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, shit, I'll just take this 18 months. You know what I mean? So I took that shit.
So 18 months. You got any probation or anything like that
out.
as well? What the heck? Hey, we
Baby,
got any
don't touch
probation?
that. Nah, when I got out, I was good. Besides whatever I did after, but nah, I was good.
Okay,
I
so-
came out, I basically just wrapped my time up. Like, let me get this shit out the way.
Okay, so what was
Mama, don't touch that, please. Go watch on the TV.
Did you start developing a plan for your release? Like, what was the plan? You know what they say, you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
One thing I tell you too, like, you know, the life I lived though, really, like, you know, like, I don't even want to speak upon it too much because I'm going through it now, but I had so much plans though, dog. But it's like, one thing I can say though, like, cause I always been a wild head type. So one thing I can say though, you know, if you got some type of belief in God, my shit really ain't too much there. But I guess a little bit. But I feel like me trying to change, there's gonna be something or somebody that's gonna, you know, like I don't know, like fuck with you or something. Like, I don't really know how to put it though, but I feel like that's like the Lord putting you to a test. Like, do you really want change in that? So
yeah,
I feel like He's gonna put you through some type of battle to see how you gonna react to this shit. And you know, I've been put through many, and I just think about the look, my little daughter right there, bro. So you know what I mean? That come into place. Like, I had so much plans, like, you know what I mean, that some I accomplished. But it's like, you know, like it's just like it's like I came out. It's like I still was in the same shit. I'm still in the same place where I went into. The only thing I can say, I'm in a better headspace from before I went in there until I got out.
Okay.
But you know, that's just what I could just say to people. Like, you know, like if you try to make change, somebody, you know, you're gonna put to a test where you're gonna see if you really trying to do that or not.
So this time in Middleton, was this the last time you were locked up, or did you go back after that?
I went back to jail before, like after like I did that bid, you know, like on some dumb shit,
Okay.
you know, but like it was just some little shit, like I was only like, you know, when you get locked up and they hold you in the police station for 2 days and shit. They used to do that before I went to jail. Now they got some shit called central booking in Nashua Street where you get locked up anywhere in Suffolk County, they bring you right to Nashua Street. So I'm like, damn. I'm telling them like, yo, and I'm supposed to go to the police station, right?
Right. They bring you right
when
to
I got back, they was like, nah, they bring everybody to Nash. I'm like, Nash. Cause I knew it was some shit where I only had a small bail I was gonna get out, you know what I'm saying? They like, you gotta sit in Nash though. I'm like, for what?
Damn, that's crazy.
You know, so that's what they do though. It's called central booking. I feel like it's a setup though, like for them, so they won't have to bring you to the motherfucking station if you gotta go sit and do some time.
Yeah, it's less work for them.
Yeah, so they just bring everybody to Nashua Street now. I'm like, what the fuck?
Damn, so
I'm in there like, damn, I'm preparing myself to fight, cause you know you go to court, they put you. Wait, they don't separate you when you know central book. You with everybody, you know what I mean? If you know about that tank, you with everybody.
So break that up for me. I'm a Middlesex guy. What do you mean by you with everybody from Boston?
That's Bill Ricker. I was up
there
too.
Yeah. But what do you mean by like everybody there in the holding tank? And that's something new.
As in like Nashua Street, they got the color code shit, but
I see what you're saying.
Like, you know, some dudes don't be labeled, you know, in a jail. So, you know, I feel bad for them ones. And even though the one that is labeled, some niggas be soft as shit. They be like, I'm gonna get to all of that. I'm gonna answer your question, but I'm gonna say this though. Some dudes be soft as shit. They be wanting to be on that color code because they know they gonna get separated from the beef. And color code is, you know, basically like certain hoods could be around certain hoods type shit.
Yeah, I got you.
Me, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm there. But what you say?
I was gonna say talk about that. Like what happened? How'd you get shipped out from your county? Was that or what happened in the tank? What's going on there?
Nah, the tank. That's just like when you go to court. That's just like when everybody in the morning come downstairs and you don't know who you're gonna run into at 6 in the morning. So you just better be ready to fight. So you brush your teeth. But yeah, me, when I got shipped out, it was just fighting. I got a lot of punk ass beef that's in the joint. I was just running to them left and right. So it's like I'm getting sent to the box, getting smoked in the box. And then, you know what I mean? I'm doing mad shit, spitting on the COs and all that. So they just like, yeah, fuck you. You getting the fuck out of here.
So talk about how you spent that time in the hole, man. What were you doing with your time in there? I know you don't get out. You don't get much. Yeah,
you don't do shit. I just kept asking them for pen and paper, and I don't draw, but I was trying to draw the best picture I could draw.
There you go. Trying to stay busy.
Luckily, you got a window that you can see a view at.
Yeah. So I mean, talk about like the effects that could have on like the mental health and that type of thing with that isolation. Did you see people going crazy?
Yeah.
Did you start to feel it a little bit, or like how long were you in there? We'll talk about that.
A little bit, I feel it, but one thing I can say though, a lot of people is different. Like, Mama, go over there, please. I don't know, I can say I'm different. I got a strong mind. Like, I seen people, like, they weak minded, they banging their head, till their faces bleeding off that door, going crazy, yelling, screaming in the middle of the night. So I'm just over there like, damn, I'm glad I'm not like that.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to do that shit, but it's like, when you want to, but it's like, I got a limit. Like, I know how to, like, ease myself down, how to talk myself down.
So, like, when you say you wanted to do that, like, in your head, like, those fleeting thoughts, they come and go. You can see how people...
I don't have fucking moments, though. When them COs, I kick that fucking door. You take a moment to trade.
Yep.
I go crazy. When I do go crazy, because I'm quiet in jail, when I go crazy, though, in there, you know what I mean? Like, niggas I know, they know shit. They be like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't know you act up like that. I be like, shit.
Is what you gotta do what you gotta do. But when you're not doing what you gotta do and not getting in trouble and not in the box, like what kind of things were you doing with your time? Did you play basketball? Did you play cards? Were you reading?
Nah, I wasn't reading. I definitely wasn't reading. I probably read like one book ever since I've been in jail like 5 times, 6 times. I ain't never read a book. Only one time. I ain't finished the whole book either.
Do you remember what book it was?
A cookbook.
Oh, cookbook. So, I mean, is that something you like? Is that an interest of yours? Are you
I wasn't
do you
really
like
cooking.
food
I
or
was
just
throw
both?
I throw my mix in with people. I'd be like, you know what I mean? People I know that can cook. I wasn't into that either. But I know how to do my thing. But I wasn't really socializing like that. Like I was just talking with. Like still to this day, even on the outside, I speak when I'm spoken to.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? But when I'm comfortable, you know what I mean? I'm outgoing. I was spoken.
So were you able to get into any like programming or education while you were locked up? Work on your GED?
Yeah, like I said, now when it comes to when I got shipped out of South Bay and I went to the Middleton shit, that's Essex County. You know, I did my time in there, you know, because I was still on pretrial in there. I was on pretrial in that jail for like a good year until I got sentenced. And then when I got sentenced, I guess when you get sentenced, shit, niggas in there was telling me they got some shit called the farm. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm thinking it's pigs and shit there.
Right.
But they explained it to me from inside the unit, you feel me? Mind you, I'm in jail for a little minute, so I don't believe none of this shit. Cause I seen my moms do a motherfucking glass shit before, my little sister. But they was like, yo, you could hug them actually. They was like, nigga, you could buy ice cream cones from a machine, all types of shit. The shit sounded like some PC shit to me, really.
There's
you know
a minimum security,
You know what I mean? So whatever. So, you know, they said, you know, put in a slip or whatever, 30 days, they'll get back to you. They got back to me, and then, you know, but I still didn't think I was gonna get there. You know what I mean? Then one day they just came to my cell and was like, yo, get up. It was mad early. They was like, you about to go somewhere else. I'm like, go somewhere else? Where? I'm not leaving this jail. Like, what? I'm already comfortable with the celly I got, but they say, you going to the farm shit. You know, I forgot I even felt out a slip to go there. So I gets there, I see a couple of dudes that I know already from me being in jail and from the streets. And then, I don't know, it was just like, everything they was saying, that shit was real.
So did
like,
they?
if you have a Milano sweater like this, all that, these 12s, you can wear these bitches in there.
You got to wear street clothes. You can have people bring stuff up too.
Yeah.
Or?
If you have like a little job, because I was about to say, like went to classes, I got my old shit in there. I completed a college class in there. What else I did? Some other shit.
Okay.
Some other,
So talk about that. You completed a college class. At what point did you get your GED? When did that come part of your story, or how did that work?
It was just,
high school
it was
diploma?
just, I was just in a college program.
Oh, okay.
From the. But I never got my GED in there. They never let me get in the class.
Okay, damn.
I can say, like, I know I need it because I don't got no diploma, nothing, but I was like, I don't got time for that. And there, like, you know, you got time, so I had the time, the perfect time for it.
No doubt. So talk about, like, what are some of your goals that you got moving forward? You got any long-term goals, short-term goals that you got, or any passions? And what are you interested in? What are your passions in life? What is it you like to do? If you could do something every day for the rest of your life and actually get paid for it, and you would love doing it, what would it be?
I want to get into that streaming shit.
Streaming?
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of ideas that I never started. Like, people been telling me for years, like, yo, you need to start your little YouTube, TikTok, whatever. Like, my brother just, like, last week called me like, yo, you need to make a Twitch. I'm like, what the fuck is a Twitch? I don't know nothing about this shit. Then he explained it to me, and I'm like, oh. I'm like, yeah. Like, I'll look into it. You know what I mean? But like a lot of people really want me to do that shit. Like, I can say, like, you know, I know if I was to start it, I would have a good support system for it, though. I can say that. Plus, you know, my shit would not be boring. Like, even me posting what I post on the internet now, I ain't no boring motherfucker. So everybody fuck with me. So
absolutely.
Like, so yeah, when I start this shit, it's gonna be Crash TV. I know the name already.
Well, I mean, what did he tell you about Twitch? Because I don't know too much about Twitch. I know that dude Kai Cenat got real big. That's about, and video games use it. That's about all I know.
That's what he told me. Like, he mentioned that dude first, and then, but like, I already have my own ideas because I be wanting to do the little reaction shit to whatever video that I want to do it to. You know what I'm saying? And then I be on the game with my friends. We be catching wild wreck on that shit. That shit'll be funny. There's just mad shit, you know, it's just a lot of things you could do that I think about that I'm still thinking about right now.
Absolutely.
You know, but I know once I was to make the account, which I never did yet, so I ain't telling nobody to go follow me. But y'all got me on the internet. If y'all see this, it'll be there.
What's holding you back, bro? What's holding you back from starting it, man? What do you think it is?
To go back, we could bring it back to when you said, did you have any goals when you came out of jail? Yeah, I did. but I wouldn't say it got ruined, but it's just
Delayed.
you know,
That's all.
you know, because I'm going through some other things and things, you know, where my mind just ain't on it. I be thinking about it all the time, daily, but it's like shit going on, you know.
I got you.
That's untalked about, really.
I got you. What are some things you're looking forward to as far as the fatherhood journey and being a dad to that little girl out there? What are you looking forward to as far as that?
I say right now, she's saving a lot of you niggas, and she also saving me. Like I told you, I've been away from my daughter, bro, from when she wasn't able, when she was crawling like a little military man, not even crawling, when she couldn't even crawl on her knees, you feel me? To her wilding out right there, right now.
Right.
You know, so I'll be like, damn, her talking fluently, she could say my name. So that right there, it fucks with me, but it make me be like, damn, I don't wanna not be there for her.
Absolutely.
Cause now she knows me. Now she adores me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
She'll actually be losing something, you know. What's your favorite part about being a dad, bro?
Like I was like, well, I can say a whole lot, but I just like I said, bro, I ain't do much things with her yet.
Yeah.
There's still more things I gotta do with her, but one thing I do is just enjoy when she ain't hyper and all that. We can just lay back and watch TV.
That's
Can
it,
I be
simple
putting
stuff,
her?
bro.
I don't have her watch these new cartoons that these kids watch. I have her watch the shit that, you know, we grew up watching,
Right.
like, you know, the old Cartoon Network
Classics.
and shit like that, you know what I mean, the old Nickelodeon, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'll be like, and I don't watch that shit by myself, but when I'm with her, I'll be like, all right, now I can do that. You know, like, you know, I'll be bringing to the aquariums and shit. I ain't
Nice.
been there since I was her age, so it's like, you know, it felt good bringing her in there, seeing
Wow.
shit that I want to see, but I never had a reason to go there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
That's
I don't got
crazy.
no other kids.
That's crazy you said that. I don't think I've
I
been
don't
since
play
I was a
that
kid.
baddies before, but I ain't never went with them today, you know?
Hey, that's
Shit.
fire though, man. So say everything goes right, man, and I know life is funny, so you know probably won't expect that. But say everything magically goes the way that you would like it to go. Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now, bro?
That was a question that I hope you didn't ask me, because I was thinking about that question too. The whole time I knew I was gonna come up here, because I don't know. Because even back when I was younger, hearing that question in school, I never had an answer for the teacher.
Okay, so
You
talk
know?
about what kind of mindset would you want 5 years from now? What would you want your mindset to ideally be 5 years from now?
My mindset, shit. I really can't even speak on the mindset, because everybody's gonna always have their mindset. Your mindset just ain't gonna just change and shift. You gotta go through some obstacles for all of that. But one thing I can say though, when to answer that, I can hope that I'm in a better situation for my mind, for my mindset to have a little shift. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best way I could put it. Like I know what happened soon, you know, but. Yeah, I couldn't answer that question the best way though.
No
Like
doubt.
I said,
So
like, a lot of I'm pretty sure a lot of people my age don't even know how to answer no shit like that.
absolutely.
You know, and I don't even want to say the question where, I mean, the answer that a lot of people would say, because that's not my motherfucking plan either. A lot of people would be like, oh, I see myself dead in 5 years. Not me.
Oh yeah, hell
Nigga,
yeah.
I got a daughter.
We
nigga.
talk about I meant
You know
more
what
on
I
the
mean?
positive plan.
I done
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
dumb
absolutely.
motherfuckers say some shit like that.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it comes in the thought, like, you know what I mean? Because you never know. But it's like, that's not going to be my answer.
Right,
So
right.
I'd rather just say, I don't know.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Got
But
you.
I would always elaborate why I say I don't know.
So where are you as far as like dealing with mental health, and what kind of things is that something that you address, or is that something like, for me, like honestly, like if I don't work out, I'm like depressed, anxious, you know what I mean, anxiety ridden, like I need an outlet. Like I feel like everybody needs an outlet. Like what are some kind of things that you feel like you do as far as dealing with mental health, and what would be like an outlet for you?
I don't know. Sometimes I say, it's like I don't even claim myself for having mental health, but I'm pretty sure everybody got the shit though. But I just say, like, sometimes people just be needing somebody to talk to. I be having people like that, but I'm a person like I be pushing motherfuckers away, because now I feel like you're being nosy.
Yeah.
And you know, like then you know, like that be the main thing. Like you being nosy, even though it's me telling you But it's just like when you keep hearing like, "Are you okay?" It's like, wow, what else you want to know?
Right.
So that's
right.
that's where I be tripping out at with people, certain loved ones. I be pushing people away, which I shouldn't. But
I mean, what do you think that's from? Just past experiences?
I don't know other ways to deal with this shit though, because one thing though I can say to deal with it, be by yourself. Because when I'm by myself, shit, I throw my headphones in, I'm good. I don't hear nothing. I don't have to be in my zone.
Absolutely. So during the time that you did and all that, man, so talk about like some things in just, yourself as a father. And during this journey, what have you learned about yourself, right? I mean, do you self-reflect a lot? And what have you learned about yourself?
Go back. What I learned about myself, you said being in jail?
Wherever time to self-reflect. If you do you self-reflect when you were locked up? Have you self-reflected? What have you learned about yourself?
I self-reflected on myself a lot. Like I'd be like, even though me being in there, leading up to me being in there, I'm like, really really, a lot of shit didn't change that led me up to there, at that time. But like I could say, like, I do a time limit, like these past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I just learned that. I say longer, really, but I could say that I learned that I don't need to be around everybody. I was always the motherfucker in the mix, in the crowd, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt I needed to be around people. But I learned that about myself. Like, I don't need to be around nobody, really.
Absolutely. So, having this freedom
sometimes because you don't know who bad company is.
Until it's too late.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, like, as in that, because some people have been bad company.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I get them the fuck up out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially if you're trying to stay out of trouble, right? I mean, you're out of company you keep, man. So
some people would say that I'm the bad person too, though, but I don't give a fuck. I would say, to the ones that have said it, y'all know I don't give a fuck.
Right. I guess it's who you're comparing yourself to.
I know that.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you looking forward to as far as your freedom moving forward, as far as just like enjoying life, you know what I mean, and doing that type of stuff, man? Like, do you travel much? Would you want to travel? Is that something you're looking forward to that you want to do? What are you looking forward to? Not a lot of people have a second chance at freedom. So what are you looking forward to with your chance at freedom?
Bullshit. I'm trying to. I've been doing a lot of things that I haven't done. It hasn't been much, but a lot of things that I wasn't into, like just being out more, socializing and shit. So that's a start right there. Because without that, you really ain't got nothing. Then. When I was, I be wanting to do a whole lot of things. Like, I got a whole lot of things I want to do. It's just like, it's just, like I said, bro, it's like certain shit be happening on a daily basis where it's like protection come into place. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of those. So it's like, and if it's happening frequently, what really much can you do? And it's like, I understand people be like, change locations, but it ain't even that. You know what I mean? And that's the whole different story, but.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That right there, like, that be my main focus. It's like, nah, nigga, I gotta make sure I see my daughter on the weekend. I'm supposed to pick her up.
That's mandatory.
So I don't even really be caring to have the fun. I just be trying to build with her more.
Absolutely.
I had fun, I had all the fun. I grew up too quick for my age, so it's like, not the quickest, I ain't do too much, there's way more stuff I could do. But it's like, nah, I'm trying to build with her.
That's fine.
No bullshit. I don't really give a fuck about the fun, bro.
Absolutely. So what is the main message that you would like someone to get out of, like, hearing your story? What do you think someone could get from hearing your story of?
Shit. The way I move, I wouldn't tell nobody to move like this. Just, you know what I mean? Shit, love yourself, nigga. Be confident in you and fuck with whoever say. If anybody, one thing I could say is I fuck with who fucks with me. And not only that, I fucks with, when it comes to niggas and bitches, off the handshake y'all give me and off the hug a bitch may give me. You know what I mean? Even that, you can't even trust that though. But that, I'm a trust type of person. So it's like, I'm one of them people where once I feel you acting corny, I'm not even going to address it, really. I'm just going to steal your ass. You know what I mean? That's what everybody know me for. I'm just going to rock your shit. No bullshit. So it's like, these the people that could watch me, that could vouch for that and all that. And to all the people that don't know me, to answer me answering his questions, I'll probably even answer me in the best way. I'm over here trying to prevent some violence. But more of the story, don't give a fuck what nobody say.
That's it.
And if you do, smack their ass. Simple as that.
Okay, so I know that, like, we make the most of a bad situation when we're locked up and that type of stuff, right? We say we have fun, we do this, and that, and a lot of stuff is glamorized and glorified, whether it's in music or movies. So I like to ask, like, what's the worst part about doing time? What's the worst part about jail? And I could probably already tell what the answer's gonna be, but what's the worst part about being locked up, bro, in your opinion?
And she's here, bro.
That's
like
all
I
good.
said, the worst part, nigga. Like I said, I wasn't really stressing or nothing like that. Like, you know what I mean? Not that much like how other people was. Like I said, I had a good bit, bro. You know what I mean? Nobody was bothering me. Like, you know what I mean? If I seen, the enemies, you know what I mean? That's the only thing. But it's just when you, like, the worst thing about the fucking jails, it's like, I seen my man Mort say this shit, nigga, when you think you got a phone on you. When I see him say that, I was like, oh, that's real. And then when you can't move how you want to move. Like I said, like, I'm an energetic person where I want to just, like, move somewhere else than just the cell.
Right.
And then shit, you know what I mean? Then shit in front of a nigga, that's crazy too.
That's right. So talk a little bit about...
Yeah, that was crazy.
Talk a little bit about, like, how it was, like, missing, like, the stuff you missed from your daughter, man. Like, what did that do to you as a father, as a man? Like, what was that like?
Like I said, bro, like, it was my choice. Like, I was able to call her moms, but I just wasn't doing that because it's like I didn't want to hear the shit. I'd rather, because I already know I'm missing out, so I'd rather not hear the shit. Like, I call whatever, but it's like I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in here, like, so that, you know what I mean? That was the thing, like, I'm just hearing from, like, my moms and shit, like, they like, oh, yeah, she's getting bigger, now she's starting to walk, she's doing her teeth, and then I'm hearing on the phone, now she's saying words, so I'm like, damn, bro, I'm like, what? But when that was happening, though, like, I was on the way home, but I'm like, I missed the most important part, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's the most important part, the tallest shit, you know what I mean? They gonna, that, I just feel like, I don't know, bro. It's just a different feeling, bro. I really can't even explain it like that, really.
Well, I feel like, the most important part now is going to be moving forward, bro, and then what you could do in her life moving forward, That's how I feel, man. I mean, you got to make the most of that, you know what I mean? So tell me why you thought it was important to come up here and share your story, and why do you think people, should come and share their story?
Shit, if you can make it up here, I feel like you could just come no matter what you say. There's a whole lot of things I've missed out that I can't say because it's like, I'm going
fresh.
through it now,
you
know what I mean? But one thing I can say, like, you know what I mean? I always make myself heard, but shit, you know what I mean? I'm being heard. Whoever's listening, shit, they could probably, I don't know, shit, whatever I said, look at it like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, all right.
Absolutely.
Saying. But I don't know. There's a lot of things that I could have said, but I just ain't gonna say because, I'm going through it now, and I wish I was to have a part two when I get out of the situations I'm in right now.
Absolutely.
To the point where bro, I don't know. I really feel like.
Well, anything with the law, we definitely cannot speak
I
on,
don't talk about that, and then, living situations and shit, like, that's not, like I said, you know what I mean? There'll be a time where I could really tell my story. You know what I mean?
So
like,
tell me,
tell my story to the point where I won't leave nothing out, type shit, like one of those, like, cause I only say that because I hope I get to that point in life where I can say, like, I went through that shit, so now I could talk about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So what kind of message would you have for kids like in DYS right now? If you could kind of tell them a message or speak to them and try to steer them in the right direction, like what are some things that you feel like you would say?
To them,
absolutely.
Like I said, like if you talk about like a 14, 15, 16-year-old, I was never one of them. At that age, I was never listening to no older nigga. I don't even got older niggas, you feel me? I was listening to nobody, so don't listen to nobody. Shit, you know what I mean? That's number one, because, you know what I mean? That's the main thing, because, some dudes try to steer a little nigga in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? Me being old, I would never do that. But that's number one, cause you know what I mean. I ain't got no fucking OG. Never ever even looked at a nigga as one of those. So y'all don't look at them as that too. Shit, like I said, shit too. Think before you do. Really, that's that. Think before you do. Like if you got bad temper or something, shit. Like they say, try to. It worked for me. And my shit bad. Try to deep breath 10 times and just think like, damn, do I really want to do this shit and go through these consequences right now? And three, nigga, if it's something that you could walk away from it. You ain't no bitch ass nigga, no pussy nigga and shit. Cause you know what I mean. Like I don't really walk away from shit, but some, you know what I mean. Some people, cause I don't even think like that, but some people will look at somebody like, oh, this nigga's a sucker, this nigga ain't do nothing. Like, nah, they ain't even that, nigga. This shit. You don't even know. But that's me talking to the younger folks, you know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck else, but.
Well, I guess if you had some.
At the end of the day, these younger dudes, they a little bit more wild than you know what I mean? My generation, and I feel the next one above me.
Yeah, they keep getting
shit,
wild.
they out here with masks on. I don't wear no mask. I feel like you wearing a mask, you scared, really. Like, why you got a mask on? You scared. You know what I'm saying?
COVID's over. So talk to me about, if you any last words for the audience or anything like that before I let you go, man. I just want to tell you I appreciate your time and I appreciate you coming up here, bro, and sharing.
Yeah, man, if y'all watching this, though, I know a lot of people, they say they fuck with me, but shit, what I'm trying to do my little streaming shit. I'll be on that, and I'm a whole lot more shit. Y'all know what shit, but I'll be on.
Absolutely.
You know, Crash TV, anything happen on there. You know what I'm saying? nothing edited either.
There you go, live, bro. And you know, we'll bring you back when you get things up and running, bro. We'll definitely talk more about what that was like. So once again, I appreciate you coming through. Bounce Back Podcast, guys. It is what it is. Remember, what's next is what you make it. And on that note, we're out of here. Peace.
Yes, sir.
You got a moment when they see you down this